All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a huge question at the very heart of modern medicine. How can we use the amazing power of AI to find new cures using our health data without giving up the privacy that keeps us all safe? This quote from Dr. Michael Blum just nails it, doesn't it? The rules we've been leaning on, well, they were built for a totally different world, and frankly, they're just not cutting it anymore. So let's dig into how we got here and what the path forward really looks like.
Okay, so let's get right into this dilemma. It's a real tug of war between making medical breakthroughs and keeping our personal information private.
Buried inside millions of electronic health records, or EHRs as they're called, are all these hidden patterns and clues. They could be the key to understanding diseases in a way we've never been able to before. Researchers are using this data to build AI that can catch diseases sooner, guess how they'll progress, and even help invent new drugs. The potential is just incredible. But, and this is a big but, so is the risk.
To deal with this problem, a solution was put in place nearly 30 years ago. Let's take a look at it. So, the government came up with HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And part of HIPAA created what's known as the Safe Harbor Method. The idea was pretty straightforward. Just remove a list of 18 specific things, like your name, your address, your social security number, and voila, the data is now de-identified and considered safe to share with researchers. And for decades, this has been the gold standard. You take a patient's medical notes, you run a program that scrubs out those 18 identifiers, the PHI, and whatever's left over is supposed to be totally anonymous. It sounds simple enough, right? Almost foolproof. But is it really? And this, right here, is where that old paper lock comes face to face with the master lock pickers of the digital age. The answer, as you might have guessed, is a huge no. I mean, think about it. The world has changed so much since 1996. We've got massive public databases, our entire lives are on social media, and we have AI that can connect the dots in ways that were pure science fiction back then. This is the number that should stop you in your tracks. A study in the journal Nature back in 2018 showed that this whole de-identification thing is, well, it's broken. By matching supposedly safe health data with other public info, they could re-identify almost every single person in the dataset. The paper lock was officially picked. But it gets worse. The risk of being re-identified is actually just one part of the problem. It's a double whammy, really. Not only is the data not safe, but the process of scrubbing it can mess up the data itself. If you change patient visit dates around to hide them, for example, any AI trying to learn from those time-based patterns is now learning from junk. And that means you get less accurate, less reliable medical AI. So if the old method is busted, can we maybe fight AI with better AI? So in one corner, you've got the heavyweights, the big large language models, the LLMs, like GPT-4o. The theory is, let's use their massive internet-sized brains to find and strip out private data. And in the other corner, you have these smaller expert models, nimble AIs, that have been trained only on medical records for this one job. It's a real David versus Goliath situation. So, who do you put your money on? The giant, all-knowing AI? Well, you'd be wrong. The research from 2024 is pretty shocking. The small, specialized model gets an accuracy score of about 0.93, which is fantastic. The giant LLM, it barely gets above 0.54. It's not even close. So why did the big guy do so poorly? Well, because the general-purpose LLM, which was trained on everything from Shakespeare to Reddit, gets really confused by medical jargon. It has a hard time with things like hospital names, medical ID numbers, or specific device names. But the expert model, it knows that stuff cold. It's a perfect example of where bigger is definitely not better. The fact that even powerful AI struggles with this makes you step back and ask an even bigger, more fundamental question about the whole process. I mean, really think about that. What if the entire idea of scrubbing data and sending it out into the world is just the wrong approach? What if instead we could bring the AI to the data and never let that original sensitive information leave its secure home? It's a complete change in perspective. And this radical new idea is possible because of a technology called confidential computing. It sounds like something from a spy movie, but it's very real. Think of it like a digital Fort Knox. Your data goes into this super secure encrypted vault. They call it an enclave. The AI can go inside this vault to learn, but no one, not the hospital's own IT guys, not the AI company, no one can ever peek inside and see the raw data. And this new approach, it just takes all the boxes. Your private data stays locked down inside the hospital. The AI gets to train on perfect, high-quality data, which makes it way more accurate. Even the AI company's secret sauce, their algorithm, is kept safe. It's a win for patients, a win for researchers, and a win for developers. It gets rid of all the risk and cost of that old, broken process. So, where does all this leave us? We're standing at a crossroads. We've got an old, broken system on one side and a clearly better, safer path forward on the other. And this is exactly why experts are now sounding the alarm. They're calling for our laws to catch up with our technology. Listen, HIPAA was amazing for its time, but that time has passed. We desperately need a new gold standard, one that moves past the whole flawed idea of de-identification and actually uses these modern privacy tools.
And if there's one thing you should take away from all this, it's this. The solution is not some far-off science fiction dream. Confidential computing and technologies like it are here. They exist right now. We don't have to wait for some new invention. We just need to find the will to actually use the tools we already have. And so that's the question we're left with. We have the technology to create a future where we can get all the amazing benefits of medical AI without ever having to compromise our privacy. The paper lock is broken, but the digital Fort Knox is built and ready to go. The only question left is, when are we going to make the upgrade?